Ìbẹ̀rù làbọ̀mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ òkàndínlé bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us for this 7 of our campaign trail. We are interpreting the Constitution of Western Nigeria. That is the Yoruba Constitution that was first enacted into law in 1957, amended in 1963 for the first time. It was unfortunately suspended by the Igbo in 1966 via organized violence after they assassinated our sitting premier, Samuel Ladoke Akintola, and several other Yoruba citizens and top of our political leaders were killed by the Igbo. Ever since the Igbo killed the Yoruba political leaders and suspended our constitution, our life has been miserable. We have been poor and wretched. Having said this, in the last 6 days, today being date 7, we have had a total of 31,653 traffic. That is the number of the people who have watched our campaign in the last 6 days from our Facebook and YouTube platform. We're very grateful to all the people who have watched us to gain knowledge. But the purpose of this campaign trail is to instill in the young Yoruba, particularly of our generation, that what the Igbo suspended in 1966, that the Yoruba nation has been asking for a return to regional government since 1967, our generation will bring home the bacon and close the deals that Awolowo started in 1967 on the 1st of May, where he gave a speech as the leader of thoughts that the Yoruba nation wants a return to the regional system of government based on the parliamentary system that we all agreed to before 1960. But since then, we have not been able to get this desire. Nigeria has been run as a unitary state caused by the Igbo, maintained by the Fulani with the backing of the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England. What the Constitution of Western Nigeria means is freedom of the Yoruba nation. That freedom was taken away from us by the Igbo. What the Constitution of Western Nigeria means is liberty. Our liberty was taken away from us in 1966, January 15, by the Igbo. What the Constitution of Western Nigeria means is rights and privileges of the Yoruba people within their own space. That rights were taken away from us in 1966 by the Igbo. What the Constitution of Western Nigeria means is protection of the Yoruba people. That protection was taken away from us by the Igbo after they killed our political leaders that we voted to represent our interests. What the Constitution of Western Nigeria means is peace and justice. That has been taken away from the Yoruba nation. There is no longer peace in Yoruba land. Several young, brilliant Yoruba living abroad would like to come home and use their brain to develop Yoruba land. But because there is no peace, there is no justice, they cannot come home. Many have made the return, but were killed by Igbo criminals and Hausa Fulani who works in our space and control virtually everything that we own. The Yoruba in Yoruba land who have not been able to escape abroad have no peace and justice. They cannot work in the jobs that are situated in Yoruba land. They cannot protest on our streets without being shot at, since the Igbo suspended the Constitution of Western Nigeria. The Constitution of Western Nigeria means that we, ourselves, as Yoruba people, have the inalienable rights to truly elect our own representative. That right has been taken away from us. Every now and then, the Igbo people try to manipulate electoral processes across Yoruba land because they think they have the same right and privileges to vote and be voted for in Yoruba land. So our ability to elect our own leader has been taken away from us by the Igbo. The Fulani, too, oftentimes have dictated who will be our political leaders for us. These two nations have destroyed so much of our life. The life expectancy across Yoruba land is less than 50 years old. Anyone that is older than 50 is lucky to be alive. Yet, under the regional government, we had the best healthcare system in Africa. Under the regional government, the life expectancy across Yoruba land was above 90 years old. But today it is below 50. What the Igbo and the Fulani want is very clear to this generation. We have one important responsibility: to take Yoruba land out of Nigeria so that our children, our descendants, can live a better life. That is the focus. That is the aim. That is the objective. That is the aspiration. However you look at it, it is the focus of every single conservative Yoruba from the day of Awolowo and to our own generation. It is our generation that will bring home the bacon. We will deliver that mandate, and we will take Yoruba out of Nigeria by the special grace of Almighty God. The Igbo and Fulani, they do not want us to control our wealth. That was why the Igbo suspended the regional government that enables us to control our wealth. That is the reason why the Fulani enlisted the support of the English colonial Turks to perpetrate the unitary system. The Igbo and the Fulani together as a collective do not want the Yoruba to rule them in Nigeria as the president. That is why the two presidential elections of 1979 and 1993 that were won by Yoruba citizens, Awolowo and Abiola respectively, were rigged and annulled by the combination of the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo. The same Hausa Fulani and the Igbo do not want the Yoruba nation to break away from Nigeria. But let me say this to you. We know your clear objective, Igbo and Fulani. That is the three clear objectives that you have. For the Yoruba not to control their own wealth. That is the reason why our ports our seaports, our airports, our waterways, and everything in Yoruba land are being controlled by Igbo and Fulani. We know very clearly your desire. If you could annul the election of Abiola and then assassinated him and his wife, if you could rig out Awolowo and then jail him, you believe that you will be able to do the same thing to Tinubu? We know your objective. It has been very clear for so many years. It is coming out because our own generation would like to do things differently than our parents' generation. We know that you do not wish us to break out of Nigeria because you are parasites. You rely solely on the wealth, revenue, and taxes generated in Yoruba land to fund economic growth and development in your Igbo land and in your Hausa Fulani land. What you desire for the Yoruba nation is pure suppression and subjugation of our people. And you have been so successful more than 50 years. We know the secret. It is not that you have the ability to defeat us in any war. We have fought more wars than you, both of you combined together. But you were so smart to always vote for yourself, and you enlisted the support of the English. Now we have seen through your gimmick. Our generation will confront you and defeat you in this new generation. We will fight you. And we are bold to say that we will fight you with the use of chemical and biological weapons. That is our weapon of choice. We know where the battle line will be fought. And it is Lagos. And we will do everything humanly possible to make Lagos the Hiroshima and Nagasaki of Africa. We will destroy everything in Lagos, because that is the weapon you have used for far too long to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. Awolowo thought about one thing for the future generation that will come after him, because in 1945, the Igbo called Lagos no man's land. We just released this morning the video of Shehu Shagari, a Fulani man, and Ojukwu. Both describe Lagos State as no man's land. It was imperative on the part of our grandparent generation to convince Muritala Muhammad that the federal capital be moved out of Lagos. Many people thought it was to the disadvantage of the Yoruba nation, but it was to our greatest advantage because of the claims of the Igbo and Fulani that Lagos is no man's land. That was why our Awolowo generation conceived the idea of Abuja and moved the capital there. The Fulani thought it would be ideal for them to be at Abuja, but we knew what we were doing, the generation before us. It is on the basis of this reality, folks, that Governor Kyle Defayemi spoke earlier this morning as the chairman of the Nigerian Governor Forum, where he specifically embraced the ideas and ideals that Young Yoruba for Freedom recently released to the general public. He called on President Buhari to allow for devolution of power to the federating units. In his speech, which I have read, he was very statesmanly. He doesn't wish to offend Buhari or the Fulani because they currently have the leveler of power. They control the presidency. Under this unitary presidential system, whoever controls the presidency controls the guns, and whoever controls the guns dictates to those who do not control the guns. So Governor Kayode Fayemi was very clear in a speech which he titled Nigeria Federal System and Potential Collaboration and Partnership. He advocated for the devolution of power. You remember we rejected the appellation of ideas of the word in restructuring, that it doesn't apply to our desire as a people. What we actually wanted, which our parent generation erroneously called restructuring, was actually devolution of power, to devolve power that were appropriated by the Igbo people in 1966 and then handed over to the central government. We want that power back. We want these powers devolved back to the region. This is what Kayode Fayemi advocated today. He stated very clearly that our founding fathers agreed to a federation, not unitary presidential system. He called for a new deal on federalism, and he says this is required to address Nigeria's slow development progress. Let me say to all the young Yoruba, Governor Fayemi spoke eloquently. This is what we have always been saying to you, that it has only been the conservative wings in the Yoruba nation that can actually give you Oduduwa Republic. The liberal wings, who are the PDP Yoruba, will never give you Oduduwa Republic. All the noise from the liberal regarding Oduduwa Republic is just to take your money and waste your time and undermine Tinubu's prospects to be president in 2023. Those who are shouting Oduduwa Republic across your social media platform are actually doing so to undermine Tinubu's presidency, and we've warned them that they cannot dare to come out on the 1st of October. They will be attacked. But regardless of their action, what Fayemi has done today shows very clearly that only the conservative in the APC Yoruba will ensure a return to regional government, and they will give you the greatest chance to have your Oduduwa Republic. They are already working with the United States of America. If you look at the video which we released this morning that shows Shehu Shagari Fulani and Ojukwu both campaigning in Lagos in 1983, saying that Lagos is no man's land. If you look at the slogan of their party, MPN, then they shouted MPN power. It is the same slogan of the PDP. It is the same party, the Yoruba, who are all over your social media, particularly who are based in England. Heritage TV, Oduduwa TV Radio, Citizen AY, David Hamilton, Olayomi Koiki, and the rest of them. They are actually PDP members. They are PDP supporters. They are actually anti-Tinubu. Their party has always been ruling in Nigeria since 1960 with the Igbo people. So when you look at the video that we released this morning, you will see the flag of the MPN. It has blue, white, green with a logo of like 12 stars in that flag. That was the flag of the MPN. It is the horrible flag that the Yoruba Libra has produced as the flag of the Oduduwa Republic, knowing fully well that we have had in existence the Yoruba flag for more than 30 years. They have designed their own to fit in perfectly well with the agenda of one Nigeria. So those of you who have subscribed to the horrible flag that the Yoruba Libra brought out to say that that is the flag of their Oduduwa Republic, an imaginary Oduduwa Republic that will never come to bear the way and manner they have wanted it. We just want to appeal to you. You sever your relationship with these people if truly you desire Oduduwa Republic. This has always been the desire of the conservative. Whether it is Tinubu, Fayemi, Fashola, or Shibaju, or any APC Yoruba, they have always had that innate desire to have an independent Yoruba nation. And what Tinubu's generation would do for our generation is to secure the presidency through which we'll be able to get our aims and aspirations. Our generation will then be able to take Yoruba land out of Nigeria. That is how God has destined this to be, believe you me. Because the growing Yoruba nationalism is what the irresponsible, horrible English police are trying to stop with their horrible allegations against me, which is going to be very difficult for them because we are prepared to defeat them in court. It is on the basis of this that I want to say to the young Yoruba that we need to drop another irresponsible statement our parents have imparted on us from generation to generation. They tell us wrongly that Yoruba are diplomatic. What they are always saying about that is that Yoruba gbagba kuba, Yoruba gba nkan buruku mọ́ra, Yoruba ma ní sùúrù tán bá ń ba ayé wọn jẹ́. That is the nonsense our parent generation have always been telling us. Diplomacy simply means reciprocity. That is the principle of diplomacy. It simply means that you pay back the kindness that has been done to your own citizen by another country. You pay back the evil that has been done to your own citizen by another country. That is what diplomacy is. So don't let our parents continue to bullshit us with their stupid way of thinking, saying that Yoruba are diplomatic, that you should be calm in the face of subjugation, that you shouldn't preach non-violence in the face of subjugation. That is completely wrong. In international relationship, the principle of reciprocity states that favors, benefits, or penalty that are granted by one state to the citizen or legal entity of another state should be returned in kind. We are being treated very badly by the English in England. We must treat every single English who live in Yoruba land very, very badly too. That is diplomacy. You don't allow those who treat you very badly to enjoy the greatest benefit in your space. Yoruba people cannot come to England without visa. When they get to England, they face all manners of discrimination. We do horrible and mundane jobs. With our PhD, with our Bachelor of Science degree, with our master's degree, we are either washing toilet or cleaning hospitals or cleaning offices or working as carer or working as bus driver, train drivers, or doing all manners of shit job with our qualitative education. In diplomacy, every English who lives in Yoruba land must be so treated. They must do the kind of job that we do in their country. But our parents are very horrible in their thinking. They tell you that Yoruba are diplomatic. Go and read about what diplomacy means. You have to reciprocate to other country how they have treated your citizen. Imagine the Igbo people. Half of their population cannot live in their space. I haven't come across any Igbo citizen on this planet Earth who has made it good without living in Yoruba land. Half of their population live in our space. They are committing all manners of crime. An Igbo boy will wake up one day, put on a t-shirt, short knicker with a bathroom slippers, carrying horrible nylon bag, is heading straight to Yoruba land, given 3 months to 6 months, is made via crime. And this is affecting our people. They are killing us with all manners of fake drug, involving in prostitution, vandalism, kidnapping, and armed robbery, which is costing life in Yoruba land. They're trooping into our space unregulated, yet every election, they go and queue behind Fulani. You don't do that in diplomacy. You mess their life up the way they have also been messing your life up. This is what diplomacy is all about. And I've been campaigning, canvassing, that if Tinubu should be president of Nigeria, Nigeria will opt out of Commonwealth. We will not be part of an institution headed by the English, that these same English have been supporting the Fulani to kill Yoruba and suppress us for many years. They sell weapons to Fulani and support them to dehumanize us, to suppress us, to subjugate us. Yet, we are a member of the Commonwealth. We can't go to England, we can't go to Canada, we can't go to Australia, we can't go to New Zealand, we can't go to all of this country without visa. We cannot even trade without tariff in these places. Yet they want us to be part of the Commonwealth. We will opt out of that. We will opt out of that Commonwealth. So you have to treat people the way they treat you. That is the principle of reciprocity. That is what is called diplomacy. You don't embrace people that are destroying you. What Governor Kyle Defayemi said today in his speech, canvassing for devolution, he knows in his heart of heart that the Igbo people and even the Buhari that he's speaking to, both will never accept devolution. But he was trying to be nice to them. These people, they know in their heart of heart that if the Yoruba conservatives should take power, Nigeria is likely going to break if there is no return to regional government. So to the Libra who just want to antagonize, we are not going to be pleasant with you. We will give you the same war you are bringing upon Tinubu and other conservative Yoruba. We will deal with ourselves first and foremost before we face the Igbo and the Fulani. And if you think that you will be able to destroy us, it's a joke. You are joking. You will not. Already, under 6 days of our campaign, all of them are dropping their ridiculous protests. They are now saying, oh, we don't want to protest, we just want to do rally. We're challenging you, you go out. We will be out with you. It will be two fighting. And it will be in self-defense. We will not allow you to treat Tinubu the way you have treated Abiola. We will not allow you to treat Tinubu the way you treated Awolowo. It will be fights to the finish. None of these Igbo and Fulani will inherit our heritage, no, because we have articulated this. We know you very well, Libra. Just two of your members, just two. The rest of you will fizzle out. We know you. Already just 6 days of our campaign, you're already changing your mind. You think we're going to work with you together. I've seen your video. And I've seen this guy, his name, this guy, Awikoko. I think I would like to say this so that you can see, because you've made several videos mentioning my name. I don't think I've mentioned your name before, unless one occasion that you used my research on Obasanjo. You spoke about him as if you are the one who have done the research. This same stupid guy, when Obasanjo wanted to kill him, he came to me saying that we should help him to get to Germany. And I was very honest with this guy. I said, you are PDP member. Every time you condemn the Yoruba APC, you condemn the conservative in Yoruba. Now, why are you running to us to help you, to take you out of Nigeria? And I said to you, even if I have that power, I won't help you. You are Libra. Obasanjo is Libra. Go to your Libra to help you. This guy is always saying nonsense, rubbish about us, particularly me. Yesterday, he released a video condemning the fact that I called people who want to go and protest to be Omale Yoruba, but eventually he agreed with me. He was telling his followers that if they go out to protest, they are going to be shot and killed. He agreed with us. Now they are trying to change. They're telling me to embrace them, that if I embrace them, they will support Tinubu. No. In the United States of America, there are two political ideologies. They are always antagonizing each other, but the majority is the Republican. In United Kingdom, particularly in England, there is always two camps, the conservative and the Labour, who are liberals. So in Yoruba land, you have to accept this reality. It will be given. There will always be these two camps. But you, Libra, you have never been majority. You know this. You are minority. Unfortunately, the other conservative like SDP, COA Party, the old version of AD, they have not woken up from their slumber. Otherwise, they will be the second most powerful political party in Yoruba land, not you, Yoruba PDP. So that was his statement he made. He eventually agrees with us, even though he has always been abusing us, saying that people should not go out to rally. We don't need you. He said Tinubu needs everybody. You must be a foolish man. Is it everybody who likes me? No. There's so many people who are praying for me to die. There's so many people who wish evil upon me. When the stupid police arrested me for terrorism, so many Yoruba were happy about that. But the conservatives stood with me. It has been over a year now. They arrested me last year, August. This is September. It is over a year, yet conservatives are still standing with me. I don't need all of you. Tinubu does not need all the Yorubas. We don't need you. You are always liberal. You will remain liberal because majority of you are half Yoruba or married or having sex with Igbo women. That is why you will always want the destruction of the Yoruba nation. We know you. So why we want you to watch that video again, folks? The video we released about Shagari and Ojukwu, when Ojukwu was saying that Shagari must win. It's the same thing that Zik did in 1959. Zik supported Balewa in 1959. Ojukwu did the same thing. Look at what Nnamdi Kanu did last year. When he lied, he tweeted, sealed, signed, and delivered, that the federal government of Nigeria, in the presence of international community, has agreed to Biafra referendum. He just bullshit his people because they lack common sense. And at the end of the day, he called out his people to support Atiku. These guys and Igbo and Fulani, they are always working together. We are aware 2023 they will work together. That is why we are saying to you, young Yoruba, the Libra that you see in front of your Facebook live speaking, talking about Oduduwa Republic, they are deceiving you. What they desire is one Nigeria. That's why the horrible flag they came up with was actually the MPN flag they used in 1979 and 1983. There is another one of them called Erelu. I don't know her name, but it's not Erelu Ayoride. No, Erelu or Abike or something like that. She also came out today. You will see the state of mind of the Yoruba Libra. She said that she received a phone call from a total strangers who said to them that you can't get to the Dua Republic unless you have 20 million signatories to their ridiculous petition. And then this caller, a total stranger, said to her that you don't have to call out the Fulani and the Igbo name again because the international community watching you will think that this is an internal problem, that they don't need to get involved with that, with Nigeria. And for that reason, this woman just shifted 360 degrees. All their horrible campaign of Oduduwa Republic suspended. And from the video of this woman, they are already fighting about political position when they don't even have Oduduwa Republic. They are saying this is what this person is going to occupy this position. Stupid Libra. She's just staying 360 degrees from their objective. This is the kind of people you want to speak for you. This is the kind of people you want to speak for the Yoruba nation. People who cannot win election. Look at election. Election started in 1923 in Yoruba land. Election started in 1954 in Igbo land. Election started in 1959 in Hausa Fulani land. But election started in Yoruba land 1923. Look at that election. From 1933, Awolowo has been winning election. Awolowo is still winning election up till now. It is this same Awolowo party that has been winning elections since 1933. Abat Macaulay started the first political party in 1923. He won all the election every 5 years because it was the only political party. Awolowo came up with another political party in 1933. Since then, that party has been winning election in Yoruba land. Forget about the nomenclature in the name of their party. APC is conservative Yoruba, and they've been winning election. If you go as far back as 1999, the only time this horrible Libra PDP ever won election in Yoruba was in 2003 when horrible monkey called Obasanjo rigged the entire election in favor of the PDP. So these guys are not important. They are not popular. They are not loved. They are not respected. You don't fall for their gimmick. You don't fall for their stupidity. When they sit in front of their computer telling you bullshit, they just speak from their mouth with no plan. They consider people that they are speaking to as useless, irresponsible, when you have people that are knowledgeable, extremely educated people that you are talking to. But they come around and bullshit you all. Libras always destroy. They don't build. So before we go to this lecture today, you will have to know one fundamental thing, folks. From the video we released, I'm going to release more information subsequently as this goes on. From this video of Shagari and Ojukwu, from the threat made before Buhari's election, even though Buhari is in the APC, which we support APC, we don't support Hausa Fulani APC. Our support is very clear. We only support the conservative Yoruba APC. That's what we support. We don't like Hausa Fulani because we don't believe minority should rule over the majority Yoruba. They always threaten our leaders, saying that they are going to shut down Lagos. In the video we released today of Shagari and Ojukwu, they were saying Lagos is no man's land. Lagos has ceased to be the capital of Nigeria since 1976. That was when they started building Abuja, before they moved in 1991. Yet they're still targeting our space. We found the secret as a movement. The young Yoruba for freedom were very sure. If we must get Oduduwa Republic, believe you me, Lagos must go down for Oduduwa Republic to rise. If we do not shut down Lagos, we will be talking and nothing will happen. Fulani and Igbo will continue to suppress us. If you destroy Lagos without firing one single gunshot at Hausa Fulani or at Igbo in their space, you destroy them. Because we've done our research. They use our money to pay for public services. APC Yoruba is aware of all of this. So Lagos, if Lagos goes down, Nigeria goes down. I have at the back of my mind that the Fulani and the Igbo will frustrate Tinubu's chances. Our plan is very clear. It is organized violence. If we can't get the support of the United States, if Tinubu cannot be president, we will shut down Lagos. And Apapa local government is our target. That is the battleground. That place will be ground zero. Everything there will be leveled. If you destroy Lagos, there is nothing for Fulani to rely upon any longer. If we destroy Lagos, Igbo will return to their homeland. But I have one joker for you. We've talked about so many prospects of how we will rebuild our space. We will rebuild our space because we will have access to international fund. We will be indebted, obviously, because after war, you will, of course, be indebted. And we will get the love and support of the good people of the United States. The Yoruba people that are abroad, that are today thinking of how they can help to shape Yoruba land, they will invest in the reconstruction of our space. They will do with their human capital. That is our weapon, folks. We must articulate it is our space. And I would like to remind you, the irresponsible English killed our people in 1993 when their useless navy came to Apapa and Tinka and killed the Yoruba who seized those ports. The records are there. That's why we say to you that diplomacy is reciprocity. You will respond to the way and manner another country has treated you. We must respond to the way and manner the English is treating the Yoruba nation. That's why we're going to nationalize all English businesses in Yoruba land. We're going to shut them down. It is our space. We should not allow people who subject us to slavery, to colonialism, to have a say in our country. If we do not shut down Lagos, destroy it completely, you will never get to the Oduduwa Republic. You will never get it. All of you that are in England, the one English company operating in Yoruba land is making all the money that you have paid in England in 1 year. That company is making it in Yoruba land in 1 month. You don't know the wealth that you have. Denmark, as a country, gets 50% of its GDP from the waterways in Lagos. Denmark, look how developed that country is. How much more, how English are stealing your wealth, stealing you dry. If we shut down Lagos and destroy it, that is when our freedom will come. Igbo and Fulani will not let go without war. So just have this at the back of your mind. It is organized violence that will resolve this. Otherwise, You will die suffering. Your children will suffer too. I don't know why Yoruba are too proud to say, okay, I'm a Londoner. What are you doing in London? Are you proud to tell people what you are doing in London? I have two regrets in my life. The fact that I live in England because of the action of their police. And when I was working with Standard Chartered Bank, if I've had this knowledge of how the police treated me in this country, the English national that I work with will face the same treatment. We will treat them the same way. That is what diplomacy is all about. Don't allow people to dehumanize you. Don't allow people to suppress you and you embrace them. Fulani will say to you that Nigeria is non-negotiable and we will keep quiet. They say Nigeria is non-negotiable. They control every resources in Yoruba land. Fulani who have their own space. Yet they said to you, Nigeria is non-negotiable. So I want to give credit to the guy who came up with the TNN, Tinubu non-negotiable. It's a very great slogan. Tinubu not negotiable. This is what we are going to give the same treatment back to the Fulani. You control our police, you control our military, you control our borders, you control our customs, you control our prison, you control our immigration, you control our seaport, you control our waterways, you control our airport, you control our taxes, you control our political economy, and we are now trooping down abroad, living miserable life with our qualitative education. And you say Nigeria is not negotiable. Tinubu is not negotiable. So the way these people have treated us, we have to give them the same treatment. That is what is called diplomacy. It is simply tit for tat. Igbo do not vote for us. Every presidential election, they queue behind Fulani. They must leave Yoruba land. It's a simple thing. You don't vote for us, so you have to go back to your space. If they refuse, they will face attack. Simple. We give them ultimatum. Look at when the Fulani youths will sit in front of TV with pressmen, giving an ultimatum to the Igbo to leave the entire north. Not only Hausa Fulani land alone, the entire north, and the Igbo will be jittery. They will be shaking. Nothing will happen to this youth because it is their parents who are in government who controls the leveler of power, guns. So that is the same thing that the Igbo and Fulani will face. It is the same thing that you face. Don't forget, they will leave. So you take this away now, before we now focus on chapter 4 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. And I said to you that the Constitution of Western Nigeria means freedom, liberty, right, protection, peace, justice, and the ability to truly elect our own leader. All of these have been taken away from us. They have all been taken away from us. Our generation will now need to work smartly. We put the last generation that destroyed Yoruba land, they are still very much alive. And Tinubu falls into that category. He's part of that generation. We are his children. They are our parents. So we will put them there, and Tinubu is their last joker. That is the last opportunity the generation before us is having to reshape things to better our lot. So we put Tinubu there in 2023, and he will have to devolve power to the regions in Nigeria. And we will do this by going onto the street and ensuring that if it doesn't, we will undermine this government. But it's not going to kill us. That is the truth. It's not Obasanjo, it's not half Yoruba, like Obasanjo who ordered a shoot aside on OPC. Unfortunately, today, Ibagani Adam is obnobbing with Obasanjo, who called for his own assassination. You can see how the Libra thinks. They don't remember the past. In Goton Jensen, Noroti, they don't remember what has gone on in the past. Let us look at chapter 4 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Let's look at chapter 4, courts. This is going to be one of the most beautiful presentations in this campaign. Section 48, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria says, there shall be a high court for the region. It will destroy Yoruba land. Today, and since the suspension of regional government, all our high courts across Yoruba land have been taken over by the Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo judges. But under regional government, we Yoruba people, we control our own high courts. You know, we have the lower court, which you can call customary court. Then you have the magistrate court. Then you have the high court. Then you have the appeal court. Then you have the Supreme Court. Under regional government, we were controlling everything except the Supreme Court. If Tinubu becomes president, it will ensure that the region controls the magistrate court, the customary court, the magistrate court, the high court, the court of appeal, and the Supreme Court. The only thing that will be binding on all of us in Nigeria will be the Constitutional Court to interpret the federal constitution. All the Supreme Court power will be devolved to the region. We will come to that. But let's look at this establishment of high court. There shall be a high court for the region. The judges of the high court of the region shall be the chief justice of the region, and such number of other judges not being less than 6, as may be prescribed by the legislature of the region. The Yoruba courts, like I said, have been taken over by the federal government. Let us look at the appointment of judges of the High Court. Section 49 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, subsection 1 says, the Chief Justice of the region and the other judges of the High Court of the region shall be appointed by the governor, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier. So under regional government, it is Yoni of Ife who will appoint the Chief Justice of our region with the advice, acting on the advice of the Prime Minister. You see, this is what, when the police stopped me from talking for 8 months after they arrested me for terrorism, they said to me, I can't use social media. So I was researching on something else. And one thing I found out was the EFCC. EFCC will go into our schools, our tertiary schools, and go there to arrest our youths, young Yoruba people, arresting them for Yahoo Yahoo or Yahoo Plus. I studied these things and I noted every proceeding that I found. The judges were always non-Yoruba people, mostly Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. The officials of the EFCC going into the university across Yoruba land to arrest our sons and daughters, going into nightclub to arrest our children. The EFCC officials are predominantly Hausa Fulani people in Yoruba land, yet we said that we are the most educated heart of Africa. What sort of education is that? Do you think that whites in America will allow their children to be arrested by black, and we allow their children to be brought before black judges, predominantly black judges, that will send their children to prison? Do you think the English will allow Scottish to control England, to control the court there? But that is what we had since the Igbo suspended this constitution, which we are interpreting to you. Under the regional government, we had our own high court. We control it. There was nothing like federal high court. You have federal high court all across Yoruba land with Hausa Fulani judges sending our children to prison. I don't think you know how psychological war works. This is it. A Yoruba child, say 18 years old, who sits around in his class, or he has attended nightclub with his peers, then an official of EFCC, because these children are carrying laptops, an official of the EFCC comes, a Hausa Fulani man. He arrested them, locked them up in EFCC cell, populated by Hausa Fulani people. in Yoruba land, assaulting these guys. Then before you know it, they are brought before a judge of the High Court who happens to be a Hausa Fulani person. And this judge sent them in prison, maybe remanded them in prison for a while before trial. And when they get to prison, all in Yoruba land, the prison officials are Hausa Fulani. You have damaged your future. Because these children will believe that Hausa Fulani are superior to them. You damage the civilization of the Yoruba nation that we hold there. This affected our parent generation. When my parents were young, Fulani were beating them with koboko, killing them with guns, arresting them at will. That was what destroyed their brain. So they conditioned their mind that Fulani will always be there. Fulani are using psychological warfare on them. The stupid police who arrested me in this country wanted to use psychological warfare on me. They realized that the use of chemical and biological weapons is shaking the Nigerian government. They want to criminalize that because I'm fighting for the future of my children. I live in their country for 7 years. They didn't give me my paper. And they're talking about racial hatred. They killed MKO. They're talking about racial hatred. They went to Northern Ireland, killed the Irish people there. They're talking about racial hatred. They came to Yoruba land in 1851, murdered millions of Yoruba people, the English. They're talking about racial hatred. They went to China, selling opium, killing them in 2 wars. They're talking about racial hatred because we are defending our civilization. The English left their space, as well as the Netherlands. They moved down to South Africa, started killing black people, even put their leader Mandela in prison and killed them in what was called apartheid. Now they're talking about racial hatred. When we said, if you don't go back to regional government, there will be war in Nigeria and our generation will deploy chemical and biological weapons. These guys are using psychological weapon on you to suppress and subjugate you. What EFCC is doing, going into our university to randomly arrested our children, going into our clubs, nightclubs, to randomly arrested our children, putting them in EFCC cell, dehumanizing them there, sending them to prison, organized and monitored by Hausa Fulani people, sending our children in front of judges that are Hausa Fulani judges is destroying the future of Yoruba land. When these children are out of this incarceration, they will impress it on others that Fulani are actually born to rule. So we need to give them back this psychological weapon. We must shut down Lagos, destroy everything. That is their lifeline. There is no Igbo citizen that has survived outside Yoruba land, and they do crime. Bring down Lagos. These guys will learn to respect you. This is diplomacy. Don't let our parents fool you and say that Yoruba are diplomatic to mean that Yoruba are foolish. No, you have to be diplomatic. It simply means you have to embrace tit for tat policy. That is how it is done. We used to have our own court. Everything has been taken over from us after the Igbo suspended regional government. That is why you can't get justice in Yoruba land. You can't get justice any longer. They put foreigners as judges, and you said you are not slaves. You get scared of everything. You don't want to speak out your mind. You say, oh, they are going to kill you. Sorry, who will then speak up? The people that you are afraid are using guns to scare you. So if you are reasonable, you look for superior weapon to deal with them. That's why they are scared of the war chemical weapon. I've told you, Fulani are already talking with the Chinese to help them to develop chemical weapon to fight you. And you think that if you go to church, Jesus Christ is going to help you. Jesus Christ is a Jewish citizen. His people, in the good people of Israel, they use weapons to defend their homeland. They fought a 7-day war, fighting about 9 different countries, and they defeated them because they had superior weapon. So don't let anybody bullshit you. If we are not going to be allowed to take the presidency of Nigeria in 2023, we will shut down Lagos. It's going down. That is it. You see, the liberals don't have common sense. They would rather wash toilet for English, drive down for in America. It's that school bus. They would rather do that than speak the truth because of the religion of Pentecostalism. They are scared to death. They say there is heaven. The planet Earth that you live on is your heaven. If you live miserable life, you are living in hellfire. You don't have to wait until you die before you enjoy the good things of life. No. They said to you, don't destroy what belongs to Yoruba, stupid people. Your Papa Wolf and Tinkerpot generate 10 trillion naira every year. 10 trillion. That 10 trillion can fund free healthcare for everybody in Yoruba land. 10 trillion will fund free healthcare. Do you know how much education tax businesses in Yoruba land are paying? They are paying 2% of their profit as education tax. That is enough to fund free education up to university level. Why don't you have? Because all the money goes to Abuja. You don't want to talk. You are scared of death. And people say, oh, they are going to kill you if you talk. They are using guns to kill. The English have MI6 and MI5 killing for them, defending their space for them. The Americans have CIA and FBI defending the interests and honor of the good people of America. Which one do you have in Yoruba land? You have an Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò that is traveling all over the place, rolling with a stick, partying all night, doing Ori Olokun, because we have put a wrong man in that position. Somebody who has a military background from America or who have been trained by Israeli ought to have occupied that position. But what is Ibagade Adam doing? He's making political statements every now and then. He's talking about karma. He's talking about the water bills. He's just talking, ranting. People are still going to his office, to his house to meet him. He doesn't have an office whereby people can go to. He doesn't have an office whereby they can monitor the surveillance of what is going on across Yoruba land, where security details and every other thing will be discussed, where intelligent, young, smart, and intelligent Yoruba who are in security across the world will be employed to work there. He doesn't even have such an office. And people will open their mouth and say, they are going to kill you. The English have MI6 and MI5 defending their honors. Where is our own CIA? Where is ours? The only thing you talk about is to party all night, have sex with different women, and have children all over the place. And you get nothing in return. This is the nature of the liberal. We conservatives are working assiduously day and night to bring about development for the Yoruba nation. And we will bring it. They have taken away our power by suspending our constitution. We are now saying enough is enough. We want back the constitution of Western Nigeria. We want back our constitution. Buhari is not going to give you. It is only a full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria that will give us that devolution that we are asking for. They have taken control of our court. Section 2 of Section 49 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria says, a person shall not be qualified to hold the office of a judge of the High Court of the region unless he is qualified for admission as an advocate in Nigeria and he has been so qualified for not less than 10 years. There are others that you can read up. And I'm not going to read everything for you because I want to challenge the conservative. I know the liberal would never read this. Even though they have this copy since July, they have no time to read. Tenure of offices of the judges of the High Court. You have to read that as well. Now, appeal to the High Court from subordinate court. You know what subordinate court is? You guys know. It's the customary court and magistrate court. So this section 51 talks about appeal to the High Court from the subordinate court. But I'm not going to bother you about that. But I want to read Section 51 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, subsection 1C. It says, decision in any civil or criminal proceedings on questions as to the interpretation of this Constitution, the Constitution of the Federation, or the Constitution of another region. These are some of the cases that you can bring to the High Court. Look at what we are doing, and we are interpreting the Constitution. Like I've raised an issue that the Constitution does not provide does not provide for the office of the deputy prime minister. The constitution does not provide for the office of the deputy governor. There's some politicians may want that to be interpreted, and they may challenge that decision. A party could come on board now and saying that, look, I want to appoint a deputy premier, but the constitution does not recognize that. So they can go to the high court. That is what this section is, for the interpretation of the constitution. So they take that matter to court. That is what it's all about there. Another thing that you can take to court, there's so many, but I can't read everything for you. But I encourage you to read her. You actually do not need to read her. What you needed to know is that we have always had a constitution. That simply means that we are an independent nation, because only independent nation has constitutions. So where is that constitution? It was suspended by the Igbo. How do we get this constitution back? There are three ways to do that. We lobby America to appoint a special envoy to Yoruba land, so that this special envoy will help us to negotiate with the Igbo and Hausa Fulani. It will sit on our side. The Hausa Fulani can have English as their own special envoy because they are friends anyway. They are helping the English to steal the Yoruba wealth. And if Igbo can look for French outside as well, then they go to the French. And these people will all sit on the round table and we negotiate our exit. That is number one option. Bring America on board on our side. Number two is to put Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. There are possibilities that these two options might fail woefully. America may decide not to support us. Tinubu may be rigged out, or he may not be allowed to be president. The third and final option that all the Yoruba should embrace is organized violence, because Igbo use organized violence to suspend this constitution. Fulani are using organized violence with the backing of the irresponsible English to maintain this constitution. It is only organized violence that we are left with if Tinubu presidency does not materialize. If American government does not support our interests. So however you look at it, you guys, you must prepare for war. So there's section E of the section 51, the cases that can be brought to the appeal court. There are many, but let me read this. Decision in any criminal proceedings in which any person has been sentenced to death by the subordinate court from which the appeal lies to the high court, or in which that subordinate court has affirmed a sentence of death. So you can go to the high court. If somebody is sentenced to death from the subordinate court are customary court and magistrate court, then that person can appeal to the high court. That's all about high court. So there's others you can read up to. Then the appeal court, establishment of court of appeal for the region, and appointments and tenure of offices of the judges thereof. Now you've seen from what I've read, we as a Yoruba people, because we have our own constitution, we control our high court. Unlike today, Hausa Fulani and the Igbo are the one in charge of our high court. So we also have our own court of appeal. Section 52, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria says, there shall be a court of appeal for the region. Beautiful. The judges of the court of appeal of the region shall be, 1, the president of the court of appeal, and such number of justices of appeal, not being less than 3, as may be prescribed by the legislature. Section 3 of section 52, subsection 3 says, the court of appeal of the region shall be a superior court of record and save as otherwise provided by any law in force in the region, shall have all the powers of a court. Section 52, subsection 4 says, the president of the court of appeal of the region and the justices of appeal shall be appointed by the governor, who is the Oni of Ife, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier. So you see that how powerful the position of Oni is. It's a very powerful position, but today it is useless position because the Igbo have suspended this constitution. That is why we hardly see, even our youth, nobody respects Oni of Ife any longer. We do not. So if truly we desire good things, we must be willing to bring back this constitution. We cannot allow the Igbo to come into our space, kill our political leaders, and then suspended our constitution, and we said we pretended as if nothing has happened. Look at what America, England, France, and Germany did to Gaddafi. Gaddafi hurt them. He gave them businesses thereafter. He pleaded with them thereafter. He sent his children to go to school in England. He allowed the English in particular to take possession of some of his crude oil, do business in Libya. At the end of the day, they made sure that they killed him because of what he has done to them in the past. This is diplomacy. Don't be foolish. I've stated to as an individual, you can forgive and forget those who hurt you, but as a nation, you do not forgive and forget. You take revenge as a nation. We have allowed so many horrible things to happen to us. How can we allow our constitution to be so suspended by foreigners? Sorry, you Yoruba liberals particularly, you don't like white people. You see white Americans, you don't like them because of what they are doing to black people. You go across to European country, you don't like white people because of what they are doing to black people. But why must you like Igbo? Igbo who have done terrible things to Yoruba nation. Did America suspended Yoruba constitution? No. The white people that you are hating, did they ever suspend your constitution? No. But Igbo suspended your constitution because they are black. They have black skin. You don't hate them the way you hate black people in America. You don't hate them. You hate white the way you hate white people in America, rather. You hate white people in America because white police have always been killing black Americans. But Fulani police and Igbo police have always been killing Yoruba. Why are you not hating on the Igbo and Fulani the same way you are hating on the Caucasian in America? If you have common sense, have to run, all of us are human beings, whether black or white. We are all human beings. Why must you hate white people in America because of the atrocity they've committed against African America? But you embrace Igbo, who suspended your constitution after they've killed your leaders. You don't see anything wrong in that. You talk about slavery, you talk about colonialism. You blame the English for slavery. You even said that the 1914 amalgamation is the cause of your problem. But Igbo suspended your constitution, your guiding principle. But you don't see anything wrong in that. You are foolish and horrible set of human beings, you black people, particularly you black in Nigeria. You are a terrible set of human beings. You just hate people because of the color of their skin. And I've told you, I've challenged you, name the African nation that has ever helped us in our time of trouble. Name them. Is it Ghana? Is it South Africa? No. During June 12, the Yoruba who ran away from Nigeria, including Tinubu, Professor Wole Soyinka, they escaped through Benin Republic and Togo. Why? Because that is an extension of Yoruba now. If Yoruba are not there, these people will not have had any place to escape to. We wanted to host ordinary radio station in Ghana. They refused us. We went to South Africa to host Radio Kudira. They refused us. You are saying you are going to like somebody because he's got black skin. You are just horrible. Igbo killed your leaders and suspended your constitution. But white America has not done that. But you are hating them. Even the criminally minded English colonial thugs, when they were leaving, they never gave you presidential system. They never gave you unitary system. They recognized that Yoruba is different from Igbo. Igbo is different from Hausa. Hausa is different from Kanuri. They gave you parliamentary system of government. They gave you a very good system, very good political system, but Igbo destroyed it, and Hausa Fulani, yet it is English that you continue to blame. It is the amalgamation that you continue to blame. Igbo police are killing Yoruba children. Hausa Fulani police are killing Yoruba citizens in Yoruba land. You will never complain about that, but as horrible as you are, in England, I have been living here for 13 years. I have never come across one time that the English police ever killed whites. They have killed, to my witness, 3 different black people. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I said, oh, the police in England are racist. I don't personally like the police in England. I call their bluff. I don't like them. But we will abuse them because they have white skin. But you ignore Igbo. You ignore Hausa Fulani killing Yoruba citizen. Hausa Fulani police and Igbo police killing Yoruba citizen. You have no sense. The only thing you see is skin color. So because Igbo have black skin, Hausa have black skin, they are the same thing as Yoruba who has black skin. That makes you foolish people. It is your language, your norms and value system, your culture that makes you different from others, not your skin color. Yoruba and Igbo are not the same thing, they will never be. Yoruba and Hausa Fulani are not the same thing, they will never be. You just pretend in that country called Nigeria, and 85% of you pray every day. That was a new research that I just read. 85% of people in Nigeria, you pray to your God, whether Christian, Muslim, or Orisha, every day, yet you don't speak basic truth. Simple truth you cannot conceive and speak it out of your mouth. And you say there is one heaven that you will go to. You have your own courts, court of appeal. Igbo destroy that. Go to the court of appeal in Yoruba and do this simple research for the sake of prosperity. Do it tomorrow. Go there. Look at the list of the judges in our court of appeal across Yoruba land. They are predominantly Hausa Fulani. You take a Yoruba there, it doesn't have any relations, blood, or anything, and is sending our children to prison. Imagine if a man goes to a shop, an 18 years old goes to a shop to steal, and you brought him in front of an Igbo judge. Because of the enmity the Igbo have for us, is going to send that 18 years old to jail for 30 years or 20 years or 10 years, and that child will rot in there. But if it's a Yoruba judge, he will give a warning to that child because it's just young, just 18 years old. Even somebody who is 21 years old, if he's a first-time offender, a Yoruba judge will never send such a child, Yoruba child, to prison. He will give him a warning. The English are very good at that in their own country. But because we are foolish people in Yoruba land, we consider skin color as the basis to make our decision. That's why your life are miserable. You send a child to primary school for 6 years, secondary school for 6 years, university for 4 years, making 16 years. Then you allow Igbo and Fulani to hold gun in Yoruba land. Yet you have trained a child for 16 years. And the Igbo police officer or Fulani police officer will stop this child, an argument will ensue, and they shot at him and kill him. Wasted 16 years of his life, and of your own generation, and of your nation. So if you have common sense, how can you allow foreigners to hold guns in your own nation? How can you allow foreigners to be in charge of your court system? Honestly speaking, I love Caucasian people. I love them. They understand self-preservation. Our court of appeal has been taken away from us because Igbo suspended the constitution. The constitution was not suspended by the English, but you don't want to hate Igbo. You want to hate English. Oh, amalgamation is our problem. But somebody suspended your constitution. That is not your problem because they've got black skin. Ori liberty daru one more way. This is one thing we should like our funfun. Anybody to ba more we need one or my any leader ni. One protect interest session. Oh, but to paralyze Stephen Hawking, to paralyze to return to gbogbo. One need the brain. My head and shorishirishi we lori physics. Wọ́n tọ́jú ẹ̀ wọ́n fún ní kíára tó máa tọ́jú ẹ̀ kó ṣá máa lo brain yẹn fún lu wọn kó máa lo brain yẹn fún lu wọn kó fi develop lu wọn. But you Yoruba Libra, you kill the best of your brain. That's why you are after Tinubu. Wọ́n bí aláya yín dàṣẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ń bú mi tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n bú yín ọmọ pé mo believe in no force. Wọ́n bí aláya yín rè ni. If you violate me, I will violate you back. How long it takes? That is diplomacy. So it should be a shame on you. Your beautiful constitution was taken away from you by the Igbo. Simply say, we want this system back. The Igbo will say no. The Fulani will say no. Yet you don't understand that these people hate you. But because they have black skin, you think they love you. But it is white people that will be disturbing, People in Latvia, they never colonized anybody because they are white. The moment you realize that they are white, you hate them. Bulgaria, people never colonized anybody, but you hate them because they are white. People from Greece never colonized anybody, but you hate them because they are white. Anybody with white skin, you have hatred for them. But Igbo that are killing you day in, day out, poisoning your medication, committing armed robbery, you don't want to hate them because they are black. You are foolish. You are just a very foolish human being. You understand this Court of Appeal thing? There's so much to read up about the Court of Appeal. I'm reading from page 186 under section 52, is the establishment of Court of Appeal. The only thing that we do not control in respect of court as Yoruba region was the Supreme Court. So this is something that if we can put Tinubu as the president from 2023 and it devolves power to the region, there will be a new negotiation. We're going to do a system that will ensure that the region controls all the courts. There's no big deal about it. If you commit an offense in Yoruba land, you will go from the lowest court to the Supreme Court in Yoruba land. You will not have to attend federal government court. No, the only court that will be controlled by the federal government is the Constitutional Court to interpret the Constitution of Nigeria. But all the other courts will be controlled by the regions up to Supreme Court. Look at what happened now. We conduct election in Yoruba land. It is one shit Hausa Fulani that will be in charge of the tribunal. So they will dictate to you if you love APC. And all the people voted APC. The election went to the tribunal. PDP has done it. They will just, because they are Hausa Fulani who don't care about what you desire, they will just declare PDP as the winner at the Supreme Court. And the only thing you will be doing is to be crying. How can you ensure your development in the hands of foreigners? And this thing is very simple. Say to the Igbo people, control your lower court, that is the customary court, control your magistrate court, control your high court, control your appeal court, control your Supreme Court, put your own Ingbati Igbo people, put them there as the judges. Anybody that commits a crime in your region, let him go to all of these courts in your space. Control it. Igbo will tell you no. They want Nigeria government, federal government to control all the courts in Nigeria because they want to be judges in Lagos. They want to be judges in Oyo State. They want to be judges in Oyo State, Igbo people, so that they can send you to prison, so that they can destroy your electoral processes. Look at the system we're running. Look, you have Buhari. When Jonathan was the president, look at it, when this Igbo man, Obasanjo, was the president, we were losing election in Yoruba and the conservative APC. They will go to the Supreme Court, they will still lose because Obasanjo just dictated what happened at the Supreme Court. He dictated what happened in all of the court because federal government is controlling it because Igbo suspended our constitution. This constitution says that it is Oni of Ife that will appoint the judges into the courts, into the High Court, into the Court of Appeal. You think that Oni will jeopardize his integrity and be behaving like Obasanjo? No, it's not possible. Your natural leader, he will protect the integrity of his tool and his nation. So the system that the Igbo imposed on us is what destroyed Nigeria, not amalgamation. Stop blaming white people, that white people are the causes of your problem. Stupid people. Igbo destroyed beautiful system that you put in place. The best system you can have in a multicultural, multi-ethnic country is this parliamentary system under regional government that was destroyed. South Africa are practicing it. Look at South Africa. I was just reading a new research that just came out today about finance, banking. All the big 5 Nigerian banks, First Bank, GTB, Zenith Bank, Guaranty Trust Bank, and UBA, all the 5 banks in Nigeria, Their total capital is not up to First Rand Bank in South Africa. You can imagine. Imagine if we are running regional government. Wema Bank that Yoruba created will have been the best bank in Africa with the highest capital, taking care of the proceeds from our ports, from the tax revenue that we have collected. It will have been huge. But what do you have today? One bank capital base in South Africa is bigger than the entire 5 top banks in the whole of Nigeria. Fulani are destroying your life with the unity system. Igbo are happy with the unity system. Do you think Igbo want Biafra? They know Biafra will never come because Edo don't want to be part of Biafra. Urobo people do not wish to be part of Biafra. Ijo people do not wish to be part of Biafra. Efiki people do not wish to be part of Biafra. So they use Biafra as a gimmick to keep the unity system. You will see what will happen under Tinubu presidency if Tinubu returns us back to regional government. People will be crying. They don't want it. They cannot grow on their own. They cannot develop on their own. They destroy this beautiful system. It's a pain that our parent generation they pretended as if nothing happened. How can you be blaming white people when these white people that you are blaming every day of your life gave you a fantastic system? But you don't blame Igbo for destroying this system. You don't blame Igbo for destroying it. You don't blame Fulani for perpetrating the system. You open your mouth, you blame white people, you shout up and down and say Black Lives Matters. Everything that the English police have done to me in their country, I can't do anything. But in Lagos, I want to fuck up a lot of English. The same way they treated me, I want to treat English like that in Lagos too. Fuck them up. If Black life truly matters, you develop your own space. Don't go onto the street of England shouting Black Lives Matters. Is the country belong to the black people? You shout Black Lives Matter in other people's homeland. Go and make your space great. That is when Black lives will be matter. Igbo cannot make Igbo land great. Hausa Fulani continue to want to control Yoruba wealth. And you are telling me that there will not be the use of chemical and biological weapons. We're going to kill ourselves in that country. And our generation will end this nonsense. Now, when it comes to appealing to the Court of Appeal, it is not all the cases that you can take to the Court of Appeal, but you move cases from the High Court to the Court of Appeal. So if you look at Section 53, subsection 1, under page 188 says, an appeal shall lie from decision of the High Court of the region to the Court of Appeal of the region as of right in the following cases. These are some of the cases that you can take to the High Court. I don't have to read all of this for you folks. You just have to find time to read some of this by yourself. It's just saying that so when you go to a High Court, and if you are found guilty, maybe somebody said, oh, you stole my book, and the case went as far as the High Court, and the judges at the High Court found you guilty, you have the right to go to the Court of Appeal. That is what this is saying. So we don't have to read all of these things. If you look at Section 53, subsection 2 says, an appeal shall lie from decision of the High Court of the region to the Court of Appeal of the region as of right in the following cases. A decision on any question, whether any person has been validly selected or elected as a member of a legislative house of the region, or the seat in a legislative house of the region of any member of that house has become vacant. You see, you can take electoral cases, rigging, or anything, you take it to the Court of Appeal in Yoruba land. You don't have to go to, there's nothing like Federal Court of Appeal. We control our own courts. Today, that system has been destroyed. It has been destroyed completely. That's why Igbo will tell you one Nigeria. And they lie to you. They tell you our problem is the English. The English brought about this problem. No! The Igbo destroy Nigeria. That's why they will never rule. That's why I will all conceive Naira. Naira and Kobo. Naira is actually an acronym. It means never allow Igbo rule again. They will never rule. If you lose a war, you do not rule such a country. That's why no English will ever be president of America ever again, because they lost the war. Igbo will not rule Nigeria anyway. Yoruba will go to war if Igbo should rule Nigeria as president. We are willing to go to war because it is our wealth that they want to steal. They are the people who destroy Nigeria. When a region or a nation or a country has a constitution, it simply means that that region, nation, or country is an independent state. Today, it is Fulani federal government, minority Fulani, that is dictating to us in Yoruba land. There's nothing we can do as a people, as a collective. We can't do anything because our constitution is gone. It's gone. That's why everybody is separated along states. It's useless. Yoruba leaders should think we are one people, Yoruba people. We should be a body, Yoruba land. Yoruba land should be under a prime minister. You have the head of state, Oni of Ife, you have the president, Alaafin, you have the elected prime minister. And under them, they have the cabinet minister. We can have provincing states, we can have local government, we can have district. We had all of this under regional government. We were not calling the states state, we were calling them provinces. Then under provinces, we have division. Like you can have Ijebu province. Under Ijebu province, you have Remo division and Ijebu divisions. You have Oyo province. Under Oyo province, you have Ibadan division. You have Oyo division. We run a perfectly well-organized society. How can our parents allow a constitution they collectively wrote, enacted into law, to be destroyed by foreigners? Our parents were very foolish. They were very foolish. Now, they are the people that are making our life miserable. Have you ever come across Americans just running away from America to go and work abroad? Do you see the Chinese doing that? Do you see the Japanese doing that? Do you see the English doing that? Do you see the French doing that? Do you see the Germans doing that? Just running away from their country. But every Yoruba wants to escape away from Yoruba land because of the unitary system. We just want to run away. Do you see Hausa Fulani running away? No, because they are leaving their own space to dominate everything in Yoruba. They control every federal government jobs in Yoruba. They control your taxes. They control your political economy. They control your finance. They dictate the policy for your banking. That's why Fulani don't travel abroad. That's why Hausa don't travel abroad to wash toilets, to do care work, to do cleaning job with our qualitative education, because they have taken all the jobs across Yoruba land under unity system. Unity system is the problem of Nigeria. It was brought about by the Igbo, perpetrated by the Fulani. Without Yoruba gaining the presidency in 2023, we will be doomed. And the only option left for us is organized violence. Folks, the Igbo destroy our identity as a people with the centralization of everything. This constitution is our identity. It was destroyed by the Igbo. When we first began this lecture or the political speech, we said to you that if you are not born in Yoruba, you can't vote and be voted for. It's inside this constitution. But what you see now, every Chukudi, every Emeka, every Awusa Fulani, every Kanuri, they are just coming, laying claim to our space, and they are chasing us away. What is the future for our children? You say Black Lives Matter in America, Black Lives Matter in England. Our children are there and they are black, so they've got no future if we do nothing to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. So the first thing must be done first. We must explain to the good people of America, this is our problem. And we must enlist the support of President Trump. That's why it is imperative you give your vote to President Trump November 3rd. If you are Yoruba living in America and you are eligible to vote. then we'll put in Tinubu as a president. Your life will be better off. All this hypertension, high blood pressure, shit experiences you face abroad. Look, I was telling a friend, why will I waited in this country to be arrested 8 times? If there is a return to regional government, since the very first arrest of me in England, I will have returned to the Yoruba land straight, because it will be pleasant. I won't face 7 other arrests. Because Yoruba land is just useless and illiterate society now, destroyed as a result of unitary system. Our best minds are wasting away abroad. We cannot even return home. That's why idiot police in England think that I have no alternative to their country, that they can treat me anyhow. Stupid people. That's how we're going to treat your own citizen in Lagos. Your own citizens that are inferior with no university education, who works in our oil and gas, works in our capital market, they work in our financial market, they are the concessionaire controlling our port, they control our crude oil, they do all manners of shit things, even sleep with our women, yet we live miserable life in their country, we face all manners of discrimination. You don't understand diplomacy. Simply means tit for tat. So folks, we're going to end it today from here. I've been told to take questions, but I'm not going to take stupid questions from you. Igbo destroy our identity as Yoruba people. It is no longer sufficient to continue to blame everybody with white skin. And people are so foolish. They are blaming the Chinese now, saying that you are taking loan from China. People think that Chinese are bringing raw cash to give to the federal government. Illiterate society that we are, Yoruba people, we just shout that we are the most educated. Chinese want to build railway they want to build railway for you. They've got contract to build railway. Ordinary rail lines, we can't produce in Yoruba land anymore. So they fabricated everything from China and bring it down to lay these things. The coach, the train coach, the engines and everything, the windows and everything, they built everything in China and bring it. This is what they are bringing, not raw cash. Stupid people, you think they are giving you raw cash? Why are they doing all of this? Because you lack the human capital, Yoruba. Why do you lack the human capital? Because there is no longer money for you to fund your education. Because all your taxes, all your wealth and resources has been appropriated by the Igbo and Fulani. So you shout on top of your mouth that we should not take China loan. They are bringing brain power, human capital. You can't build bridges because our education is in shambles. Ordinary bridges you can't build. You can't even build roads. Where are the engineers? All of them are washing toilets in England. Yoruba engineers, our scientists, they are doing security guard job in England. You are saying, oh, Chinese, do you think they are giving you raw cash? You're foolish. Look at what we read in this constitution about money bills. If you borrow money from any country or any banks, you are going to use your asset as collateral. That's why the federal government is using Yoruba asset as collateral. You think it's a big deal? It's a normal thing. It is a normal thing, but it is wrong because we are practicing unitary system. They should not use Yoruba resources to serve as collateral for loans that has been obtained by Fulani that they will use to build railway in the north. We're asking the stupid Libra to support their own son to become president of Nigeria. Horrible soul. They are attacking Tinubu day and night. Shit people. You have no brain. You think Chinese are giving you raw cash. They are bringing their human capital to bear. So you can't produce anything from your brain because you go to Redeemed Christian Church of God, you go to Winners Chapel, they've taken all your brains there. From this Pentecostal church is completely useless. You can't think. You think Jesus Christ will build you railway. You think Jesus Christ will build you bridges. You think Jesus Christ will build you road. You think Jesus Christ, ordinary prefabricated slabs that you put on pedestrian way, you can't produce it in Yoruba land anymore because you are sleeping in churches from Sunday to Sunday. And you are blaming Chinese that are doing all of these things from their country. They are bringing it to you and they are charging you for that and they are taking your wealth. Yeah, taking your wealth. So they bring all these coaches, all these rails, do all of this thing, rail set it up for you. So when you sell the Yoruba crude oil, it is the Chinese that will take it from you. This is how you are indebted. So if you want to bring development back to Yoruba land, we must put Tinubu there. Buhari will not devolve power back to the region. They don't actually, Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo, they don't believe in regional government. Even if they want to devolve power, they would rather devolve power to the state. And it doesn't pay the Yoruba because the state weakens us as a body. We cannot grow as a collective. It weakens us. It gives room for external forces to come and enslave you. But if you are as one block under a head of state, Oni of Ife, then followed by your president, Alaafin, then an elected prime minister, then all the cabinet minister, then you have the prophecies, then you have the divisions, then you have the districts. All of them will look up to one person, your prime minister. Then your prime minister looks up to the president looks up to the governor. You don't have to go to Abuja. You are all Yoruba, you will make your spirit great. This is what we want. Igbo do not want that. Hausa Fulani do not want that. So we are going to fight and kill ourselves. It is as simple as APC. Of course, you are very right, Mr. Isaac. He says that if Yoruba land, or if Yoruba are not careful, Lekki Deep Sea Port and the new deep sea port in Ondo will be taken over by the Hausa, Fulani, and the Igbo. That is it. They took over a Papa War from you. All of the people that are shouting, oh, they are bringing water bills, they have been taking what belongs to you for long. You just need President Tinubu to reverse everything. And we do not do zoning. We're warning these people. We don't believe in zoning. In America, they don't do zoning between black and white. In Britain, they don't do zoning between English and Scottish. We do not believe in zoning. We are taking the presidency from 2023. We will not give it to Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. We will not give it to you because we are the majority in Nigeria and the economic backbone. If you say that we cannot rule over you, then you must be willing to allow Nigeria to peacefully dissolve along its natural boundary. Simple as ABC. There is no contest about that. It is when you do not wish that we rule over you as Yoruba and you don't want us to get out of Nigeria, that is when there will be deployment of chemical and biological weapons. Of course, if we have gone back to regional government now, the technical and competence of the Chinese partner will be something that Yoruba can take up. We have the brain. We have our citizens all across the world. They desire to come home, but they don't want to come home under this unitary system whereby Igbo criminal will just kill them. No, we need to be able to secure Yoruba land first and foremost before we can bring in Yoruba home. That is when we are asking for the devolution of power. Allow the region to control their home police. We will call our own Yoruba Police Service, operated by our citizens, not foreigners. Then we will have devolution in respect of the military. We will call our military Yoruba National Guard or Yoruba Regimental Armed Forces, whatever the nomenclature we choose to call it. It will be populated by personnel who are Yoruba citizens. Beautiful. This way will secure lives and property across Yoruba land. Then we can bring in Yoruba who are wasting away abroad, bring them home, use their brain power to develop Yoruba land. The Yoruba that are home, we bring them on board as well, develop Yoruba land and make our space great. This is what we desire. But the Igbo don't want that. Hausa Fulani don't want that. They want us to continue with this horrible unitary system that are destroying us. I'm looking at some of your questions that we're just asking us. And if you guys don't have questions, we have to end it there today because our time is fast spent. Okay. No, what you're saying, Mike, is fun. That's not it. So in any case, I thank you very much, guys. And then we're going to continue tomorrow for day 8 of our lecture. Thank you very much. God bless you.